Hey guys, it is Friday, February 1st, 2019. I want to start off by thanking Shannon in Fresno, California for sending me this beautiful Franklin $50 right here. Minted in 1963, uncirculated, just a gorgeous, gorgeous coin. So thanks again, Shannon in Fresno, California for sending me this. Really, really do appreciate that. Awesome coin. While I was looking at this uncirculated Franklin $50 today, so cool, very, very cool. I was looking and watching a little bit of news today, and just thinking about a few things. And an interesting article, an interesting topic that I saw today was regarding the Super Bowl this weekend. Now, personally, I don't think you're a bad person if you watch it. I won't be watching it. I'll no longer ever be watching anything to do with the NFL after their apparent disrespect to the flag, to the military, to the police, and basically to the American people. But that doesn't mean somebody that watches it is a bad person. They're not. But for me, I resent the NFL and any organization that takes that stand against the American flag and the American people. But I digress. Some interesting facts about the Super Bowl that I wanted to talk about. 17 million will be calling in sick Monday from all their hard partying over the Super Bowl weekend. 100 million people will watch the game. As high as maybe 114, 115 million people will be watching this game. It's the second largest day of food consumption here in America. And it just blows my mind that we have so much obesity in this country, yet people will use this as another excuse to get even bigger, even lazier, by consuming more garbage, becoming more lazy. And it's a sad fact that Americans are becoming zombies. And when I went to Walmart the other day, the land of zombies, the land of the comatose, the land of obese, to go and buy ammunition, went in and bought about 700 rounds of ammunition so I could train this month. You look around these environments and you look at people and how unhealthy they look, how lazy they look, how dumbed down they look. It's just not me just saying it. All you have to do is go out to your local Walmart and see what you're going to be dealing with when we see a disaster here in America, a social or economic disaster. These are the people who are addicted to pharmaceuticals, they're addicted to drugs, they're addicted to food, they're addicted to entitlement, what have you. This is our society today. This is what we're going to be dealing with when this whole thing comes apart. 5 million people will have bought televisions to watch this game. Just another excuse to run up credit cards. You know, when you look at 42% of this country that doesn't have $400 saved up, I think it's 58% of this country doesn't have $1,000 saved up. When you look at half the country living paycheck to paycheck, 52% of the country making less than $31,000 a year. When you look at the amount of credit card debt, I think the average person now is holding around $9,000 worth of credit card debt. Literally, people could not pay for an emergency, whether it be a flat tire, going to urgent care. Yet, people are going to dig down into their credit cards and go buy a television set for the game on Sunday. Money that they don't have. And this is just another thing pushing this economy, and it's credit. And while people are buying stuff, they're getting deeper and deeper into debt. So we look at some of the numbers, and a lot of what we're seeing in the economy, any of the growth that we're seeing is being bought with debt. People are having to use credit cards to go out and buy electronics. They're using credit cards to buy food. They're using credit cards when they go to the dollar store, when they go to Costco. They're using credit cards. So we may see more purchases here and there, but how much of that is being bought on credit cards? How much of that is going to be actual debt? People don't have the cash. They don't have the money right now to buy it. So they buy it on credit and hope to be able to pay it down the road at some point. The average consumer is going to spend $81 for the Super Bowl. That's going to be mainly food, chips, beer, things like that. And yet people will write in the comments that they're broke, they don't have any money to buy some silver, they can't put anything away because they don't have any money. But isn't it amazing that millions of people will spend $81 to watch a game that's completely irrelevant to their life? They have $81 on average for that, or they're going to put big purchases down on their credit cards buying flat screens, but yet nobody is waking up and putting away for a rainy day. Nobody is putting away for what is coming to America. Nobody's buying any of this stuff right here. And that just enforces everything you and I have been saying, that the American public are dumbed down. They're drinking the Kool-Aid. They become zombies. They become addicted to pharmaceuticals. They can't think for themselves. Everything in their life is a party. Everything in their life is not worrying about tomorrow. It's about a game, watching a game, watching reality TV, just being parts of things that have nothing to do with their actual life or their future. There's no concern. These people are brain dead. And yet again, people don't have, 42% of the country doesn't even have $400 saved up, but they're going to dig up $81 to watch a football game, or they're going to dig up a credit card and go buy a flat screen at Costco or Walmart. Let's talk about the markets today. Dow Jones struggled throughout the day. It was actually turning red around 11:30. I think it was up close to 200 points in the early morning at the high, and it closed at 65 in the green. So it gave back quite a bit. Now, you have to ask yourself, with the injection of adrenaline, that the markets got this week from the Federal Reserve, with the job numbers that came out today, they exceeded expectations, no doubt, blew away expectations. 304,000 jobs created for January. And that's fantastic news. Yet the market struggled all day. The market closed close to 65 points in the green, even with this phenomenal news. You know, I looked a little deeper into the job numbers, and I'm not knocking them. I think Trump is doing everything he can to get this economy going, and I think it's a positive step in the right direction to have these kind of job numbers. But, you know, let's look a little deeper, specifically in some of these areas where the jobs were created. Hospitality. So for January, there were 74,000 jobs created in hospitality. That's working at casinos, that's working at a hotel, things like that. Those jobs pay $10, maybe $12 an hour. 52,000 jobs created in construction. Now, probably a majority of those jobs, again, are going to be low-paying labor-type jobs in the construction field. You know, low-end paying jobs. Transportation and warehouse, 27,000 jobs created in that sector. Again, these aren't really super high-paying jobs. You know, transportation isn't paying a fortune. In fact, you know, the truck drivers are complaining that they just can't even make a living driving because they're not being paid enough. Warehouse workers, that's another $10, $12 an hour job. Retail, the retail sector, 21,000 jobs created. I mean, those are $8 to $10 an hour jobs there working, you know, retail. So a lot of these jobs, I mean, I'm looking at 50, 100, about 180,000 jobs right there that are primarily low-paying jobs. And we still have too many people working part-time that need to be working full-time. We still are not keeping up with the standard of living. People people's jobs are not paying them. The wages are not paying enough to keep up with the standard of living. They're not paying them enough to go out and buy a house. We look at something nobody wants to talk about, inflation. People say there's no inflation. There is tons of inflation. Go to the grocery store. Every time I go to the grocery store, food, like meat, poultry, produce, everything, every week you go, it's more expensive. And look at the price of housing. Look at the price of automobiles. If you think there's no inflation, you're highly mistaken. And how people are going to continue to live with low-paying jobs while inflation is running rampant, the cost of housing and automobiles continues to be out of reach for most people in this country that are living paycheck to paycheck and have no savings whatsoever. So the market didn't really respond in too exciting of a way, even though the job markets report looked really good. And it is good news. I mean, there's no doubt. It's better to have created 304,000 jobs than 100,000 or 120 or 150,000. So it's a step in the right direction. But this country needs higher paying jobs. People need higher wages. Inflation has got to come down. The cost of living needs to come down. But unfortunately, I don't think that that's going to happen. And this is another reason why people need to stop worrying about football games and start worrying about their futures. How many of these people watching these games are so unaware of their unfunded pensions that their retirement may not be there for them, their Social Security may not be there for them, that they have no net worth, that this country is heading into an economic disaster, and it could be here at any time. That could be next week, it could be next year, it could be 6 months from now, it could be 2 years from now. But most people need to realize there is not a whole lot of time to prepare what is going to be coming to America. And spending your money and your time and your intelligence watching football games, watching reality TV, dumbing yourself down, spending your money and time on these things is not going to prepare you as an individual to protect yourself, your future, protect your family, protect your wealth, your assets. All it is doing is draining you of your intellectual content and draining you of your money. And from what I can see, from what I'm reading, most people don't have too much money in this country. Most people are going broke. They're going into debt. Yet, this is the typical American thought process. Live for today, watch sports, watch football, watch reality TV, be addicted to pharmaceutical drugs, spend more money on garbage food and become bigger and more dumbed down, and this is your life. And this is a terrible direction for an individual, and this is a terrible direction for this country, and this is the direction everything is going. And I hope that anybody watching this that is on the fence sees this and wakes up, that you need to do something more productive. You need to be preparing. You need to make yourself a better individual. Get in better shape, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Put down the TV, put down the football, put down the reality TV, put down the drugs, and head into a positive direction and start preparing. People need to get into a warrior mindset for what is coming to America. These people at these stadiums, these people glued to the TV watching these games, they are the sheep. They are the majority. And we know the sheep get led to slaughter. Don't be a part of the majority. Be the minority. Detach from the herd and wake up. Time is running out. Get prepared. Get your assets in order. Get your lives in order. Get your health in order. And get your relationship with God in order. Guys, have a great weekend. God bless every one of you. Thanks for watching. Share this message. Get it out. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get the latest updated video. And all I can say is continue to pray for this president, pray for this country, and just make yourself a better person. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.